Hey worshipers, it's your girl Tasha, and I am coming to you guys to share a message that God had given to me. And it's just God has just kind of been building me up on this word, so I feel like there is so much in it. So God speaks to me through numbers and visions, and so one of the numbers that God has shown me was 2121, and in the Hebrew context, it means eukairos, which means timely. The usage of the word is opportune, favorable, which that means favorable, timely, suitable, or perhaps sometimes it means a holiday or festival, so like celebration. So God told me that we are in a seasonable, a timely, a opportune, a convenient time of need. So this time that we're in right now is well timed. So you is EU in front of you, Kairos. EU, it means well done, rightly. It shall be right with you to do well. Here is the Lord expressing his well done, my good and faithful servant. Those words, he's expressing his gratitude. He's expressing to you right now that he's proud of you. And then also, for me, this is what God revealed to me, that this represents judgment. This allows us to understand that judgment goes both ways, for the good and for the bad. You will be judged. And so we'll take, for instance, God had shown me the story of the talents, where God had given one servant 5 talents, then he gave another 2 talents, and then he gave another 1 talent. The one with the 5 talents, he went out, took the talents that God had given him, and came back and multiplied it. He had 10 talents when he come back. Then the one that he gave 2 talents to also went out, multiplied, and came back and had 4 talents. So the one with the 1 talent, he actually was afraid of losing it or misusing that talent. So he buried it because he felt like God was, very protective over that, what he gave to him in his hand. So he didn't want to misplace it or misuse it. So he buried it. But he did not multiply the talent. So God told him that he was a wicked servant. So, that's letting us know that if we do not use what God has given us in our hands, that we're going to be judged for using it or not using it or misusing it, mishandling it. And if you do it the right way, God is also going to tell you, well done. So this is, God expressing his judgment here. And he also took the 1 talent from the person who buried the 1 talent and gave it to the one who has 10. And then Kairos means time or season. So we have to look deeper and understand that times and seasons are different. So God had to correct me on what a time was and what a season was. So I had to dig deeper. So I'm first partaker of the things that I share. So taking a deeper look, seasons in life, they are a part of living out God's plan for our lives. So Ecclesiastes 3:1 reads, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." So time is a moment, an opportune time, an appointed time. The time that you put into your relationship with God in this time is going to show in your season. It's going to show in the results of what type of season that you have. So it determines how your season will play out. So many times we focus on the things in real time, what's in front of us, the things that we see. And those things oftentimes keeps us stagnant because we're so focused on the things that we see in real time versus understanding that in due time, in due season, things are going to work out in our favor if we stick with it. And so time is a due measure, a measure of time, a fixed or definite time. There are certain times for a season, and right now we are standing in an opportune time. And this is a time that God is separating the wheat from the tares also. What is a tare? So it's a harmful weed, or is meant to be harmful, and it resembles wheat. So in the beginning stages, it looks like wheat, it resembles wheat, but it is not wheat, and it gives no produce when it matures. So wheat is a good grain that ultimately produces the bread of life. So separating the wheat from the tares means to separate the wheat from the weeds, which means you have to know and understand what is real and what is fake. In Matthew 13, the servants asked if they should go and uproot the weeds, but the Lord answered unto them, no, because it would damage and uproot the wheat as well. So in the story in Matthew 13, the farmer goes out, he plants good seed, and then the enemy comes, and while the man is sleeping, the enemy comes and he sows tares amongst the wheat, the good seed. And as the seed starts to sprout, the servants and the men, they say, hey, didn't you sow good seed? And so the man says, yes, but while I was asleep, the enemy must have come and plant tares amongst the wheat. So this is basically telling us that, we have to be watchful, we have to be mindful, and we have to not prematurely pluck up the wheat, pluck up the tares, because we will also uproot the wheat. It could damage and uproot the wheat as well, which is what the enemy wanted them to do, is prematurely uproot the tares, which will have ruined the harvest of the wheat. So the farmer allowed the tares to grow with the wheat, and at harvest time, when it was time to collect and when it was time to reap, the wheat was brought into the barn safely, and the tares were gathered together and then thrown into the fire to burn. So when you think of wheat and tares, this also means believers and non-believers, that there's going to be a separation, that there's going to be a time where God is creating a separation between those who believe and those who do not believe. So we are in that time right now. So this is the appointed time for us to walk into every opportunity that God presents in front of us. You will know that the opportunity is for you and when it's right. God will confirm it. This is the appointed time for a lot of us to step into who it is that God is calling us to be. This is the opportune time for you to take advantage of the things that's right in front of you. So I just pray right now that this word has blessed you guys as much as it has blessed me. And I'm just so grateful that God allowed me to be able to release this word at this time. So guys, you are standing in an opportune time. What are you going to do with it? All right, guys, be blessed.